Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I go by the name of Box Truck Shorty. Today we're discussing Amazon Relay, of course with the 26-foot box trucks. Is the market too saturated right now? Is it a good time to jump in? Is it too many people in? Can you make any money with Amazon? Are there still good loads left? You know, you go on Facebook, you go to a lot of different platforms, YouTube, Instagram, any social media site, and you go into the chat rooms or whatever, and everybody's saying, oh, Amazon is garbage, Amazon don't have any good loads, it's too saturated, there's too many people in the market. Just a lot of talk about basically is Amazon too saturated. As you know, like I said, if you ever never watched one of my videos are very organic. I'm actually still looking at the load board. But to get back to the point, in my opinion, is Amazon saturated? That's a tricky question. Because if you look at it, that's like asking, is it too many McDonald's? You can have one McDonald's on one side of the exit, you can have another McDonald's on the other side of the exit. Or let's say, for example, a mall, you have one Foot Locker in one side of the mall. Oh, there was a good load. All right, book that load, boom. Okay, all right, just book the load. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. But like I said, my videos are organic and live. So like I said, you can see one McDonald's on one side of the exit, you see another McDonald's on the other side of the exit. That doesn't stop McDonald's from getting in the game. So if you're thinking about saturation and saturation is stopping you from getting in the game, then I don't know what to tell you, because any business that you're probably going to start or get into, there's going to be a lot of competitors, if you want to call them competitors, a lot of people in the same industry, same game. That shouldn't stop you from getting in the game. For example, I'm in the Atlanta market. There's a ton of box trucks people here. There's a ton of work. I don't have no problems. I'm not, a lot of people ask me, do I have dedicated lanes or do I have dedicated routes? No, I don't have a dedicated route. 95% of my loads, I would say, is booked by the poster truck. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is set my poster truck for that day. Most of my loads are booked by poster trucks. Just like today, I got 7 trucks right now. One of the trucks is in the shop. I had 8. One of my trucks is in the shop. So 6 of my trucks got booked today during poster truck. So I'm now looking for 2 loads. Well, I just booked one, looking for another load, which is called a spot board. However, like I said, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't think the market is too saturated. Then you got to think about it as well. There's always good loads on the load board. A lot of people say, oh, is there good loads in my area? Is there good loads in my area? There's good loads everywhere nationwide. I look on the load board from time to time. I put hot loads on my Instagram page. There's good loads in Cali. There's good loads in Ohio. There's good loads in Denver. There's good loads in Pennsylvania. There's good loads in the New York area. So there's good loads everywhere. It's just the fact that if you're not on the early access load board, then there ain't no good loads nowhere. Like a lot of people will be like, well, inbox me and be like, well, you check my market. I could check your market right now, and that does not necessarily mean there's no loads in your area. Like for example, in the daytime in Atlanta, if I check the load board in Atlanta load board is dead as crap. Ain't nothing on the load board. Like right now, if you look at our load board in Atlanta, that is dead. There's nothing on the load board. However, that does not mean that there's no loads in Atlanta. That just means at the particular time you look, there's no loads. And I did a consultation the other day. I think this guy he was in Virginia. I forgot where he was at, Virginia, DC area, wherever he was. He hit me up and he was basically saying that there was no loads. Amazon is crap. He's seen like $238 loads. You know, what's going on? He can't believe it's like kind of like a waste of time. So I told him to hit me up on Instagram. If you are following me, whatever, just give me a shout out, because this is a true conversation. And I literally told him to call me real quick. So he called me real quick. I looked on the load board. They had loads. Matter of fact, it was like, I want to say Connecticut, New Jersey. That's where he was at, New Jersey. Looked on the load board. The loads that he saw was like $238. Nothing paying over $300. He's like, man, this is crappy loads. So I looked on the load board. I said, do you have early access? He said, what's early access? So I said, man, basically early access is after, then I asked him, did you do any loads with Amazon? He was like, nah, I haven't done any loads with Amazon. I said, okay, well then your first 3 loads are gonna be crappy loads. You have to take those loads to prove yourself to Amazon. Amazon wanna make sure you are gonna take these loads. For number one, you gotta be on time for these first 3 loads. The first 3 loads is the most important loads you're gonna ever do with Amazon. If you're late for any reason, you reject these loads, or any disruption or app usage, you're not going to be on the early access load board, right? So your first 3 loads is the most important loads that you will do at Amazon. Once you get past those first 3 loads, then you will automatically have early access. Once you have early access, the sky's the limit. You can see the same loads I see. There's no time limit. There's like just because somebody been on it 6 months means that you can see it more. So basically, in a nutshell, I looked on the load board, and if you look, those are the same loads I had posted the other night, where it was like $970 something. Loads paying $3.85 a mile, I think it was. Some real good loads, and I explained that to him. I sent him the video, I screen recorded, sent it to him, and he was blown away. He was like, oh my God. He's like, man, I guess I got to take these crappy loads. Yeah, so a lot of people think the area that they're in is saturated, especially when they first start, because they don't see loads. That does not necessarily mean that your market is saturated. That just means that you don't have early access at the time. Sorry, looking at the load board. So once again, so that does not mean that your area is saturated. That just means that, like I said, you are not on the early access load board. Once you get on the early access load board, the sky's the limit. Another thing that a lot of people always question me and ask me about, well, I can't find a rental, I can't find a rental. Is it worth getting into? In order to find a rental truck, there's different accounts that you can have. You can just walk off the street. If you walk off the street to go get a rental truck, it can be anywhere from $850 to $970 to get a rental truck. You get a corporate account, like a business account, that'll drop that down to like $650 to $670, plus like 21 cents a mile, I would say, to 31 cents a mile. Or you can get a discounted rate, which, I know how to get a discounted rate with the rental companies. That would drop that down to like $440 to $450, depending on which rental company you decide to go through, and it drops it down to like 12 cents a mile, which is a huge difference than $440 compared to $880 or $870 as well. So of course there's a demand for the rental truck, because everybody want to get in the box truck game. It's hot right now. Everybody wants to get into it. It's like having a pair of Yeezys. If you're a sneakerhead like I am, box trucks with Amazon is just like having a pair of Yeezys. Everybody want them. It's the new hype on the street. So to get a rental truck, is it saturated to get a rental truck? Or is it hard to get a rental truck? Yes, it's a little hard to get a rental truck. I'm not going to lie. Especially if you're coming into the game, it can be discouraging, because especially if you have to pay your insurance to activate your authority, and then after you activate your authority, you don't have a truck. So you're going to have to take that gamble. But however, there is little ways and methods of finding a rental truck. And once you set up the kind of account that I have, then it's a lot easier, because it's kind of like you would have like first dibs at a truck. Like you might call in, they might say, no, we don't have a truck. Somebody else might call in, they might say, I don't have a truck. But the kind of account that I have, they kind of reserve some of the trucks for the type of account that I have, if that makes sense. So I don't have a problem. In Atlanta, I can always find a truck. I know a lot of people say, oh, there's no trucks in Atlanta. Well, you're not looking hard. You call one rental place and say, no, we don't have a truck, and then you just assume that there's no trucks nowhere. You might even have to travel out a little while, like maybe to the next state or neighboring state, 100 miles, but you can find trucks. There's trucks out there. Trust me, I went to the Ryder. I'm not gonna say the location because y'all gonna blow it up, but I went to the Ryder last week, was it Saturday, and I seen a bunch of box trucks out there. So you just gotta do your due diligence, shop around, call around, and hunt. Go look for that truck, you know what I'm saying? Because the trucks are there. So also, I'm gonna give y'all a little hint too about, especially if you're in the Atlanta market. In the Atlanta market, we have 3 plants here in Atlanta that we pull from. Basically, it's East Point, which is ATL 6. Then you got MG8, which is off of Derrick Road, and then about 70 miles away, we have this other in Jefferson, Georgia, where I used to pull loads out of there when I first started, but it was just too far for me to drive just to get there. It's like 60 miles just to get there to pick up a load to go to North Carolina or South Carolina. It was burning up gas. Well, however, as of what's today? Yeah, today, that plant is no longer servicing 26-foot box truck loads. So all of those loads are going to be shifted down to the Atlanta area, which that means more loads for us in Atlanta. As a matter of fact, one of the loads that my postal truck hit today is going to Cherokee, North Carolina. Usually when I was pulling out of I think it's MG5 or whatever it's called in Jefferson. That's where we would go to North Carolina, some Tennessee, South Carolina. 2 of my loads today are actually going, one is going to Abbeville, South Carolina, and one is going to Cherokee, North Carolina, which is up in the mountains. So those were all Jefferson loads prior to, tonight. So that's another good thing. So when people keep saying, especially the Atlanta market, is it saturated? No, it's not saturated. Atlanta has loads. If you look at my Instagram, as you'll see, I have loads every night. I have loads, so it's no saturation. Or if y'all think it's saturation, that's fine. That's more loads for me. However, we are about to go upon, coming to peak season. Peak season, the same loads that's paying, like my average load right now is about $520. Them same loads is gonna be paying $700, $800, $900. So we're about to enter into peak season where, you can make a ton of money if you in. You have about a good, little over 30 days. So if you start your process now, you can get in by October 1st. You should be able to jump into the game, start doing loads. You catch it right in peak season, you'll make a killing. However, you wait too long, you'll be like me. I jumped in the game last year in January after peak season, and man, the market was not good. But the guy that trained me, who brought me into the game, he was able to show me, what peak season was looking like, and he made a killing during peak season. So this is the right time, the best time to get in to Amazon. You can literally start a company for under $5,000. Like, I don't know where else on earth you can go ahead and start a company for under $5,000. And like I said, you know me, I'm pro rental. I'm all about renting. I don't like maintenance. I don't like fixing stuff. Of course, you got the people that do like it. That's up to them. But however, I don't like the headache of a truck breaking down, as I already discussed in a previous video. So this is the best time. You can start your company for under $5,000, jump in the game. And like I said, where can you go and spend $5,000 and you can literally make your money back within 2 weeks, and then you straight go and profit from there? I don't know another business. So if you're interested, I'm always plug myself. I sell a starter pack, step-by-step guide that will walk you from the beginning all the way to the end, so you don't have to make all those little nuances, mistakes that everybody make, and can't get rejected, can't get accepted to Amazon. It's not a course, it's a step-by-step starter pack. I also offer my 3-day training course, which, when you show up to Amazon, you know what to do. You don't walk in there blind, because like I said, the first 3 loads is the most important loads you're gonna ever do at Amazon. It's gonna make or break you. You're either gonna be successful with Amazon, getting 100, or you're gonna be one of those people in there constantly complaining about Amazon got crappy loads. Amazon don't have crappy loads. Everybody's like, well, why don't you go over the road? Well, over the road, I don't wanna have to deal with getting paid 2 weeks from the time I do my loads. I don't wanna have to go through a factoring company. I don't wanna have to go a month to get paid. I love Amazon, to be honest with you. If anything I might pick up some day loads in an Atlanta area. But however, I love Amazon. Amazon pays every Friday, right? You can't beat that in logistics. Every Friday, like clockwork, my money's in the account. Then, like I said, 95% of my loads are by postal truck. If you have a 90 and above score with postal truck, you get paid the next day. Like, where can you do that at? That's like unheard of. So that's why I love Amazon. I'm pro Amazon. Y'all can keep trashing Amazon. Fine, more money for me. I'm gonna run it up. I'm gonna continue to keep running it up. So y'all can stick doing over the road. Nothing wrong with that. But once again, for me and my model, my business plan, the system that I have in place, my drivers love to be home every day to see their family. Yeah, you can make a ton of money over the road, but however, you're never home. So I don't have a problem keeping drivers as well. How do I find drivers? Once you say the word box truck, 26-foot box truck, like I said, it's like a pair of Yeezys. Everybody want it. Everybody want in. It's the new hot thing. It's easy to find drivers. Okay? So with that being said, like I said earlier, I got a 3-day training. I'm always plug myself. Until next time, I'm out of here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, follow me on Facebook, Box Truck Shorty. I'm mostly active on Instagram at boxtruckshorty.com. And I'm on YouTube, because if you're watching me now, you see me on YouTube. I don't like cameras, but hey, I'm out of here. Take care. Box Truck Shorty.